What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Phaithful Phanatics Show. A very happy Wednesday to you all. I'm one half of your host, Dylan Davis. To my right, my faithful co-host, Scotty. And as always, we are streaming here live on the DSM-Media Twitter page, as well as the DSM Philadelphia YouTube channel. So first and foremost, guys, as you can see pulled up on the screen underneath of me, if you want to be interactive throughout today's show, the best and only spot for us to see your thoughts and comments and get them pulled up here along with us is to subscribe and comment through the YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, share, whatever you're going to do. We appreciate the hell out of each and every one of you that tap in here with us. When we're not live here, we're most active over on X at DSM_media is where you can find us. So make sure to follow us there. Add us, message us, whatever you guys want to talk about. We're always around and down to talk about sports and Philly sports in general. Yes, Weird time, fun time. Hypothetical time. We got the Eagles release, the NFL schedule release that came out a couple of days ago. So the Eagles fall 2026 calendar is now booked, and we're going to talk about that, initial thoughts and reactions, and break down win totals and projections. The Phillies obviously lost earlier today at home. They've lost 2 in a row now, but they're back to 500 baseball. They were 500, but that's don't worry about today. Under Don Mattingly, they're 16-6. They had won 6 straight series before losing the last 2 to Cincinnati. So they are playing very, very, very good baseball as of late. And they look like a playoff baseball team again. So we got that. The NBA conference finals are going on. 2 overtime games, 2 classics. Spurs, Thunder 2 nights ago. One of the best games I've seen in a long, long time. Last night's Cavs-Knicks Eastern Conference game started out like slop. It was a blowout with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and then one of the greatest NBA playoff comebacks I've ever witnessed last night in the Mecca. So we're kind of just, if you want to talk any Sixers left, if you have anything left in the gas tank for the 76ers, it's kind of just to see like how they stack up. Obviously, they got swept out by the Knicks, who came back and won that game last night. But even if you're just looking out west and you're looking at those behemoths in San Antonio and Oklahoma City, how do the Sixers realistically match up as constructed right now? So whatever you guys want to get into, we'll have some fun with it. Make sure to comment. Make sure to drop your thoughts. Just pop in and say what's up. My man, happy hump day. Long intro, but let's get to it.
Yeah, no, we are here. It's the off season of the NBA, NHL, and NFL for us. And that's that weird space that you were just describing. But no, the Phillies have been playing good baseball up until the last 2 days, basically. So we can appreciate that, especially their record since Don Mattingly took over. And you mentioned it, man. I'm excited for the Eagles' schedule. Obviously, you start to look at games. Which ones do you want to go to or try to go to? Which ones are going to be the most exciting matchups? Whatever the case may be, it's always fun to see that schedule and really start getting a frame of mind for the NFL football season. So I'm excited for that, obviously. And you mentioned it, the NBA conference finals have gotten off to a great start so far with 2 overtime matchups. Just a lot of great basketball going on, and it does bring you to reflect on the Sixers a little bit. So we'll see if we make it there today. But no, man, where do you want to start? I guess is where I'll throw it back to you, brother. But happy hump day, man.
I guess let's start with the Phillies. Let's. I don't want to say get that out of the way, but let's talk about the baseball that they've been playing, because they did get put to the back burner for us, not just only because of how they were playing and how poorly they were playing, but because of the Sixers, coming back down 3-1 against Boston. The Flyers win their first playoff series in a decade, basically. That's not COVID, over a half decade, since COVID. So there was other things at the forefront of these conversations, but the Phillies have my attention again, not only because they're the only thing in Philadelphia going at the moment, but because they actually look like a very good baseball team again. And this was not a good series to kind of pick this conversation back up with and talk about how great they've looked. But if you look at the last 2 games that they've lost to Cincinnati, no Kyle Schwarber. I don't know what the illness is. He was in the dugout. DJ Schwarber was going yesterday. I didn't see if he was in the dugout again today, but he's around. So maybe it was just kind of let get him a little bit extra rest if he's feeling down. But he was out. And when a guy who has 20 plus home runs by mid-May is missing from the middle of your order or the top of your order, it's gonna result in some change and adjustments, right? But no, nonetheless, this team has been really, 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 really good under Don Mattingly. The schedule obviously eased up, but before the schedule, or since the schedule kind of eased up, as you and I were discussing weeks ago, you did walk into Pittsburgh, and I'm not trying to overstate or oversell you on the I'm gonna say the Pittsburgh Steelers and Pittsburgh Penguins, on the Pittsburgh Pirates, excuse me. But this is a good team to start the season. Before the Phillies came to town, I don't know if they were 5 games over 500 or whatever, but the whole NL Central has been very, very good to start the season.
Yeah.
The Phillies walked in there, pitched 2 shutouts in a row. Obviously had the exciting comeback last Friday night where they won in extras 11-9. Schwarber's been an animal. Bryce has been, dare I say, elite. Alec Boehm and Bryson Stott have both been swinging a hell of a bat. Brandon Marsh, up until like 5 days ago, was leading the majors in batting average. He's been very good. Guys like Sosa, he homered today in a loss, but guys are stepping up in the middle of the back end of this lineup, and the big guys are playing like the big guys. That's been a difference. And then obviously Zach Wheeler has come back, and him and Christopher Sanchez have been the best 1-2 punch in baseball since his return. They've been unbelievable. So all around, whether it's the change of just energy in the locker room, the wake-up call, the schedule being lighter, or these guys doing their jobs, finally you can kind of start clean now as we enter junior. 25-25. Obviously, you trail the Braves by 8.5, but 8.5 with 112 to go.
You've got time.
Plenty of time now. When you were 14 games below 500 or whatever the hell you were, it seemed too steep to climb out of, but you kind of start fresh now.
Yeah, they had a quick fall and they had a quick turnaround, and it's obviously helped a lot. But I wanted to kind of track back to what you were just describing there at the end of you talking. And, like, what is it? Is it just a mixture of those things, or was it as simple as a new voice kind of taking over in the clubhouse? Like, how do you get like a spark? Like, is it the level of competition? Like you said, is it just a mixture genuinely of all those things, or do we really have to give Don Mattingly some credit here? And I bring this question, it's the title of the show, and we're into that era, right? It's the new voice. It is Don Mattingly. Is it as simple as a voice change in the clubhouse, or does it take all of this perfect storm to get Bryce back up to that level, the pitching staff back to where expectations were originally, and so on and so forth? I mean, the whole lineup is playing better. That, like you just described, Stott, Boehm, all of the guys are playing better. So I don't know, man. It's just so like odd almost when we looked at that. I don't know. We talked about it when Thompson was, let go.
Yeah,
wanted to call it.
It's definitely a combination. It's a combination of the schedule. It's a combination of whatever took so long, but these guys finally waking up. And of course, you have to give Don Mattingly credit. The reason where I kind of just laugh in like bewilderment and like confusion of like, why and how does this make sense? Because when Joe Girardi was fired, that Phillies team hadn't sniffed success yet. And by all reports, Joe Girardi was not respected in that locker room. That it was not a manager they wanted to show up to the ballpark every day and play for. So then he was relieved of his duties, and in comes Rob Thompson, this new voice, this resurgence.
Yeah.
The point now is, well, they all still loved Rob Thompson. This wasn't a manager they had lost trust. Now, maybe it swung too far in the friend direction, the cool, relaxed direction. No idea. But this is like this whole like new voice idea. I don't know how it even makes sense if you loved and respected the manager you had. Don Mattingly isn't doing anything different than Rob Thompson it doesn't feel like it's just as far as the lineup goes, it's shuffled around. The lefties are being pulled out. Now, obviously, the Schwarber thing shuffles around the top of the order a little bit more. But even when Schwarber was in the lineup every night the past few weeks, the 4 hitters been different. The 5 through 8 hitters have been different. Crawford's batting 8th, and he's doing like the things we used to get mad at Topper. Like, dude, you got to find a consistent base. Well, he's doing similar things. They love their manager at the time. It doesn't make sense. I don't know what the difference is besides these guys have just started to produce at the level that we expected and predicted at the beginning of the season. Now, no one predicted Kyle Schwarber to hit his 20th home run earlier than Barry Bonds did in the season he hit 73, or earlier in the season than Ryan Howard hit his 20th when Ryan Howard hit 60, whatever. Or earlier in the season than Aaron Judge when he hit 64 or 65 a couple years ago. That's what Kyle Schwarber's done.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper also needs to get a lot of credit right now, but it's a combination for sure of the competition you've played and these guys finally started to do what we thought they would have done in the beginning of April.
A little bit of a kick in the ass. No, I definitely feel you. And I think the credit has been acknowledged there. And I think you get some nice tests coming right up ahead in the schedule to finish out May as well, right? So you talk about lack of competition or whatever you want to call it. Well, you got 3 clubs to finish out the month that are above 500, and obviously one of the you got some big teams mixed in there, right, with the Padres and the Dodgers to finish it out. So it's a nice time to really reinstill that confidence. Obviously, the last 2 days you don't love it, but like you said, you got Kyle Schwarber out of the lineup. There's a lot mixed up there. It's a big moment for the Phillies, but I think the bigger thing is just getting back to 500, heading towards June. But now you got to finish strong. You got to finish May strong, right? Because May isn't over, and you don't want to get back to May with, 4 series losses in a row. You can't lose these next 3, or we're right back to the same place we were. So I definitely love the credit that's given. And, I'm really hoping that the Phillies can keep it going because, like you said, Bryce Harper's playing at an MVP type of level in the last 15 or so games, you could say. They're doing what they're supposed to. It's kind of like what you said, man. I just want to see them continue to do it. But it's something to be excited about. How do you feel about that NL East chase with the Braves? I know obviously there's still a ton of games left. It's what you said, it was 8.5 games separating us.
It's kind of like a weird marker right now because, like you said, like 8.5 at the end of May, especially like an 8.5 where you've just gotten back to 500. You can feel pretty good about. There's still way too much time to start talking division, but at least they look functional again. Like at least there's at least the conversation of each and every night. Okay, the Phillies are making the chase. The Phillies are making the chase. The Phillies are in a playoff spot, or whatever you want to call it. For the longest time, man, they weren't. They weren't that. Now, obviously, the record reflected a bottom 2 team or the worst team in baseball. We all knew, even when the Phillies held the worst record in baseball with the Mets, you still didn't go into a game versus the Rockies thinking the Phillies were the worst team, or the White Sox thinking the Phillies were the worst team, or the Angels, so on and so forth with those bottom teams. But the record didn't show that. So now you're getting the best of the big guys, and they've kind of dug out of that. But the Braves they're interesting because, is this what the Braves should be doing this, correct? Like healthy, they were a team, like healthy, Acuna back. Like my question is, what's that staff? Sale, Strider, Elder. They are good, man. They are good. They are that core that was pieced together for in terms of Riley, Olsen, Albies, Michael Harris, Acuna. They're doing what they should. So it's going to be tough to finally answer your question, but they have a hell of a chance to continue to do it.
Plenty of time. Yeah, no, I feel that, man. I feel that. They just got to keep it going. And I do think, to your point, if I had to lean which way the Phillies are going to go the rest of the season, I would lean towards them looking closer to that NL East contender, that World Series contender that we expected coming into the season. And teams do this, man. It happens in every sport. You get off to a slow start, and sometimes it does. It takes a kick in the ass. Maybe, it took Rob Thompson, their guy, getting thrown out on the cross to wake up and say, oh, shit, we got to get our shit together and win some games, or there's going to be some other heads turning here as well. So it just looks like they got their head out of their ass, along with Wheels getting healthy at the same. There's a lot of different factors. Maybe Harper is just finding his stride right now. I think it's a little bit of a kick in the ass and that, but no, to your point, I think I would lean more towards being excited about what this team can do, despite these 2 losses, like we discussed at the beginning of the show. It's like you don't want to overstate it too much with how they have looked specifically since Don Mattingly took over. So I feel you, man.
I do want to add in there. Obviously, excuse me, the core of this team is the big guys producing at the level that they're paid to do and that we know they can. And that's how far this team really will get to. But the ceiling extends when 2 of these 3 guys can continue to do what they're doing. Stott, Bohm, and Marsh in the middle of this order are swinging excellent bats, really kind of ever since the first little kick of Mattingly taking over. But recently, over this little stand, like Bryson Stott has, let me just go back to.
I had his last 15 games before today. So he was averaging 269, 3 home runs, 12 RBIs in the last 15. He has 7 RBIs in the last 7. But that was before counting today, obviously. Yes. I got these.
All right, are you ready for this? Since the month of May, so the series after Don Mattingly took over, Bryson Stott has 5 home runs, 18 RBIs, and is hitting about 260. Now, do you want to know what he did in the month of April that caused Rob Thompson to get fired? 0 home runs, 4 total RBIs, and a 200 Mendoza line average. Yeah, that's a hell of a shift.
Yeah.
And that's what this team needs out of Bryson Stott, wherever he is plugged into the lineup. Let's get to Alec Bohm, right? You get to Alec Bohm. Trying to pull up his last few, sorry. Alec Bohm is hitting 345 in the month of May. He hit 157 in April. Alec Bohm has 3 home runs in the month of May. He had 0 in the month of April. Now, I don't know what struck those 2 from the change of Rob Thompson and Don Mattingly, but that is humongous, bro. He has a 966 OPS in the month of May. He's been excellent. Alec Bohm now? Let me go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's a 10-game hitting streak with numerous 2- and 3-game hits in those games. Homered again today.
Yeah.
That's huge, dude. And then, like I said, Brandon Marsh, this isn't just a Don Mattingly thing. Brandon Marsh has been great since the start of the year, leads the Phillies in average. My point is, to wrap up this Phillies conversation, you got the back end of the bullpen. Duran's back, Alvarado, etc. Keller needs some work to do. You got the top of your rotation back. Nola, Painter. The last 2 starts have been good. He's got to continue to pump more strikeouts.
Yeah.
You need two of the others to produce. Now, that doesn't have to be the three I just talked about and how good they've been. It could be Adolis Garcia finding his groove at the right time late in the season. It could be Justin Crawford continuing to grow and getting on base for the top of the order in the 9-hole. It just you need the big guys to do what they're doing right now, and you need two other components to continue to play at the level that Boehm, Stott, and Marsh are playing right now, and you will have wins stacking up on top of each other. Yeah. And that's when this team is obviously at their best. When those guys.
So what would be your marker, I guess, throughout the rest of May with competition in mind? And I'm just thinking about, because they played so well of late, right? And what it takes to get back to where they need to be and what they need to do over the next few weeks to close out this month and continue this stretch of great play.
Yeah.
Like, is it 2 out of these 3? Like how are we looking at the rest of this month, given the competition shift, I guess you could say? And it kind of, I don't know. I think you get the Dodgers before. No, you finish with the Dodgers, I do believe. So you kind of get to go up in competition level, I guess, as you play them. The Guardians, Padres, and then Padres are playing really well as well. So I don't know.
You get the Guardians, Padres, Dodgers, Padres again.
Oh wow! So that's in June. You get the Padres again. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Just the very first series in June is San Diego and Philly. This is, it's an excellent point by you, because, man, is this not like the swing vote right here in your confidence level? Right. Is this not setting up the summer? Because this is not going to be easy. This is the competition you're expected to be a part of. This is the group you're expected to be in the tier in as. The Dodgers, the Padres. Fuck the Guardians. I mean, the Guardians are playing good, but fuck the Guardians. The Dodgers and the Padres.
That's what I mean, but it's a good start off. You know what I mean? As we trend, it's a good one. Like, let's get ahead there.
But man, this kind of decides the season, and I'm not trying to sound like a loser here, but 500.
I was honestly thinking that, though. I mean,
well, here's the thing. There's no 4-game series, so you get, but it is 4 series, so you get 12 games.
Yeah.
Brother, if they give you 6 and 6 in any shape, like, obviously you want more than that, but like,
yeah,
if you stay where you are now into June and you just got over this hump at 500, you can continue to build off of that. If you excel that, you're setting your summer up. The seesaw goes this way drastically. You're setting your summer up very nicely for this fan base's hype and expectations. But you've done all this work, as you just pointed out, to get back to this point. If you go and play sub 500 baseball now in this next 12 against this competition, let's say they go 5-7 or 4-8 against this competition, and you're to 4 games below 500 in early June.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, yeah, like, cool. Like, we went on that cool run with Mattingly where we beat the Red Sox and the A's and the Rockies and the Pirates. Yeah. But when you get to these guys, you shell up.
You get brutally.
This is going to swing. Down. This is the swinging factor to set up the rest of the summer in terms of what the expectations are. And all I need out of you is 500.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think that's honestly a great barometer test, because you think about you get 6 wins throughout the next 12. What, you've won probably at least 2 of those series if you get up to 6 wins, right? So it's not really about series to that point. It is about staying around that 500 mark. That way you can propel yourself when you get those opportunities to gather those clean sweeps in series, because you get the White Sox right after that, which they've been all right. I guess they've been better. They're better than us, but no, we just played more games. But nonetheless, you get the Blue Jays, you get the Brewers, but nonetheless, got to get through this stretch and kind of, I don't know if survive is the right word, but
No, I agree, especially because then you get to
come out and like really could they just come out and like really do their thing and maybe get 7 wins or
that's what I'm saying, man.
Really
imagine if they could go 7-5. Yeah, imagine if they could go 7-5 or 8-4 against these 3 teams over the next 12. That gets the summer rolling.
Yeah.
And I know that the Mets are last in the division. They're fighting back as well. But like you get the Mets coming up, 3 in Philly, 3 in New York at the end of June.
Yeah.
We know what those series are always like, regardless if the Mets are playing, bad baseball or good baseball. And the Mets were playing bad baseball this time last year, and then they went on that run the last 2 seasons, actually. So, this is the swing factor. It's a great point. You get a day off tomorrow, and then Cleveland comes to town, and let's see.
Bro, I was gonna talk. I mean, we'll talk offline, but I was gonna talk to you. Maybe we need to get to a game over like the next 2 weeks or something. But
I know, bro. Here's the problem. You see the weather this weekend?
Yeah. Is it? Well, no, I haven't seen it for the weekend. I heard it was gonna get chilly, but is it raining?
Oh, who knows what ends up playing out, but it's the next like 7 days are rain. Okay,
rain. That's what I thought. But no, I just heard it was cool.
But you know how that plays out. It doesn't always work.
We'll see. Like June's a big month too, so we could always hit one then as well.
Yeah.
But no, some big matchups coming up. That's why I bring that up, man. There's some good should be some good baseball play. Let's hope the Phillies can keep it going, man. I'm like you said at the beginning of the show. I'm getting excited. I'm glad we got to sit down and discuss this. They've been put on the back burners for a good amount of time right now, and some of it was rightfully so. But it just works out perfect timing right now that we get some really good matchups to kind of really kick that excitement up.
Yes, or it can tell us a lot about the team's makeup. Yeah,
exactly.
Or you can tell us the opposite about this team. But all right, dude, let's move on over. Guys, if you are watching live with us right now, if you want to be interactive, make sure to check us out on the YouTube channel. If you're watching on Twitter, we obviously appreciate the hell out of you. But the link tree in our bio will take you right to the DSM Philly YouTube link. So just subscribe, like, share, whatever you got to do. We appreciate it. Yes, Eagles schedule release, all of the NFL schedule release. Also, just to start it off there. So the season's kicking off on a Wednesday this year? Right?
Right? I mean, make it make sense. I mean,
I'm confused. Like I am
Super Bowl rematch.
I did
Wednesday.
see that correctly when it came. Yeah. Wednesday, September 9th is the Seahawks hosting New England, the Super Bowl rematch. That's normally a Thursday game. For some reason, and then we had the Eagles in Brazil 2 years ago. We had the Brazil game each of the last 2 years or whatever, the Sao Paulo stuff on Friday night. For some reason, we're getting a Melbourne game with the Rams and 49ers on Netflix on Thursday, September 10th.
Guess they're expanding their days again.
Is it? Let me ask you something weird. Now, I don't know why it would make sense, how it would make sense, but if they were going with the original lineup of Thursday, Friday, foreign game, Friday is September 11th. Did they not want to have a September 11th game in another country?
Maybe.
That's the only thing I can think of.
That would make a little bit more sense.
Why is your season? There's games scattered all over the fucking place. We have Black Friday games. We have a Christmas Eve game, which is on our schedule this year. We have everything. Every day of the fucking week, there's football, which I'm not necessarily mad at. It's just broadening a lot. We have a Wednesday football game this year. That's the only thing I could think of as to why they did it that way.
I think we'll just need a Tuesday game, right?
I think so.
That would cover all seven days.
I think.
Because we definitely get Saturday games.
You always get Saturday games. Obviously, you have your normal Monday, Thursday, Sunday. We have a Black Friday game again. I don't know, man. But
these international games, man.
We get one of them as well. We get one of them in where the fuck is our game?
London.
Is it?
Yeah. It's interesting, man. I was like looking at it because I have my fascinations with London and soccer. No, I'm going to be in Arizona at that time, but no, they take on the Jags in London, which apparently.
And I think the NFL did it to the Jags again, where the Jags are staying overseas and have another game the following week. It's every year. I don't know.
And it's like a home game for them at this point.
I don't know what it is with Jacksonville and the UK, but every year they stay. And
I would have to look at a map. Maybe they're like close to London. I don't know. I don't know what the flights are like, but
there's no way.
It's interesting, man. I don't know. I went out to London a couple years ago, man. They have like their own like Philadelphia sports like bar right in the middle of like London. So like there might be a good amount of Eagles fans out there for all I know. How are you a Jags fan, but you're not an Eagles fan over there? Like that would be really weird. But the Jags are over there every single season for what, the last like
4
at least 4 or 5 years or so. I mean, whenever they started doing them, I know the Jags were one of the first ones.
It's crazy.
So,
but
it's interesting. Yeah.
Initial glance, man. What do you make? What do you make of this Eagle schedule?
Man, if you base it on last season, I think this is what we've learned since doing this show specifically, is that you just can't take last season into this season and expect all of it to transfer over cleanly. And so, when I look at it based on last season, it looks like a juggernaut type of schedule, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, there's a ton of playoff teams, a ton of title contenders. I think you could honestly say, I mean, the Rams are mixed in there. The Bears early on are mixed in there. The Seahawks are mixed in there. The Texans are mixed in there. That's really about it, I guess. So maybe it's not. Maybe I'm taking a little. I guess I saw 8 primetime games, and I'm thinking. And I know you got the division games.
I'll tell you this: you have a lot more playoff teams than you realize. Title 3, like Carolina was a playoff team last year. Jacksonville is in that playoff contention.
I went too far with title contender. That's where I went.
Yeah, Houston's Pittsburgh is a playoff team. The Colts playoff team. So you have a lot of playoff teams. I'm still getting used to remembering that the Seattle Seahawks are your defending champs. It's really weird to me.
I do feel it. Yeah.
But San Fran, depending on how you view them moving forward, you get them at the end of January on the road, which could be very interesting in the NFC playoff picture. But what stands out to me, man, it really, you got I don't even want to say 2 stretches, because you can't, you have Dallas at Washington, New York mixed in the middle as well. That's 3 straight division matchups. Yeah. You get Washington week 1, which I find really interesting, because I remember a couple of years ago, I felt like we always played Washington week 1. Like when Kirk Cousins was there and we had Wentz, it felt like we played them week 1 all the time.
I went to a couple of those games.
Yeah.
You're right.
And since then, it feels like the last 3 years, it feels like we play them to end the season. Or at least when Jaden Daniels has been the quarterback for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
You get Jaden. There is no end of the year injuries or whatever. It's you get Jaden week 1. So I thought that's going to be a much more difficult game than when we played Washington to end the year each of the last 2 seasons. So that's step 1 there. You get at Chicago on Monday Night Football in week 3. You follow that up with the Rams at home. We all know how that game ended last year in Philly and what the Rams can do trying to get back to a Super Bowl. Then you go over to London. It is a really strong schedule. Also,
played out.
And
they put it together weirdly to where it is. Yeah, it's like a tough test.
And they also, I believe, have the worst or second worst favorite. It's percentage wise, teams coming off of their bye. The Eagles have 4 games with teams coming off of their bye.
Yeah.
That's difficult, man. That's tough. That's an advantage for those teams. But I'm just looking at the times. You mentioned the primetime games as well. They start the season off 4:25. You have the 9:30 game. You get a 5 p.m. Saturday game against the Seahawks in December. 3 straight weeks at the end of November, early December, you're 425 or 430, 405. You get Thanksgiving. So they only have 1, 2, 3, 4. Only have 5 1:00 games this year out of 17.
I was thinking.
Depending on the Giants game, which is listed as the flex right now. So you could have 6.
Got you. No, I do agree, man. And as you were talking through there, it just made me think, because I paused after I said title contenders. And you know why that happens? Because I looked at that stretch in the middle, starting week 7. And I guess week 6, you could say the Carolina game as well. But I think that Carolina game is a trap game because you're coming back from London. Carolina is a tougher, like at least last year, and maybe I would imagine they would just want to keep that mantra up, right? Going into the season, they were physical defense. They were young, active. So I think that is a trap game coming back from London. Playing the Jags in London is a trap game in itself. And then you get the Cowboys, right? And it goes Cowboys at Commanders, Giants, bye week, Steelers at Dallas. And I looked at that stretch and there's no title contenders there. So, what am I talking about? But, how are we viewing the rest of the division? Because I do agree with you. Commanders, week 1, that's tough because it's the unknown. We don't know what the Eagles might be figuring things out. The Commanders might be figuring. Maybe the Commanders come out hot. We don't know, right? Jaden Daniels returning from injury. The Cowboys, you get them on Thanksgiving. That should be a prime opportunity.
Yeah.
But who knows, right? We don't know what the Cowboys are on this year, but I don't know, man. What's your gut feeling on the division specifically this year? Not just our schedule laid out, but just how are you viewing each of these teams?
This could be the most difficult it's been in a few years now. Because we all know what Dallas's offense is going to be. And any game you play them, whether that defense is atrocious again or they figure things out, that offense is always going to be firing and you're going to be in shootouts and whatever. Yeah. So Dallas is always going to be that fringe. Are they a playoff team or does their defense have them a top 12 pick again? The Commanders, if you get a full season of Jaden Daniels, this is a team that was in the NFC Championship game 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, Jaden Daniels missed how much time last year?
A lot.
They're obviously very old. And I don't know. I haven't, I'm going to be honest. I'm not plugged into what Washington's, I'll check right now for you, roster even looks like.
I feel you.
But a team that gets that quarterback back is going to be good. And then you get to the Giants who are, kind of the laughing stock of the division, it feels like. If you get a full year of Jackson Dart, Malik Neighbors, Cam Scatterbo, John Harbaugh's there now.
They have a ton of young talent. They do.
2 very high draft picks in this draft class.
Yeah.
It could be a fun division. Let me say that. It could be one of the shit. Let me backpedal here. I was going to say it could be one of the better divisions. I think it'll be a competitive division throughout the year, but I just think there's so many good divisions in football right now.
Yeah. No, I do feel that. Who do you think will be last in the division if you had to pick right now, just off the top of your head? You don't have to think about Ross. Just think about where they're at and where they're going.
I'll still go with the Giants. Let's just call it what it is. They have the worst quarterback in the division. Regardless of what you think his upside is, if you're a Jackson Dart fan or not, whether he starts protecting himself more or not, you're talking about 2 quarterbacks that faced off in the NFC Championship 2 years ago, and Dakota Prescott. So you have the worst. You have the worst. The quarterback in the division. Can they protect them? What's that line look like? Yeah, there's a lot of hope when it comes to the Giants. If you're a Giants fan, there's a lot of fun. It's can we put it all together?
And can they stay healthy?
Like, let me say this. Dallas, great, because like I don't know why the draft seems so foggy to me outside of what the Eagles did. The Cowboys got Downs, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The Giants should have taken him.
I'm trying to remember who the Giants took because I feel like they had a good draft, or am I tripping? They did,
but I think it was the second pick.
They took a tackle, right?
Yes. They went Arvell Reese, number 5 overall. Fantastic. You should have went Caleb Downs too, and continue to stack up on that. Like, I get it. Like, I'm arguing with a top 10 offensive tackle when your offensive line sucks. Maybe I look like a fool, but in terms, like, that's just where I thought they should have went in the moment. But
no, I feel that. But I do like what the Giants are doing on paper, I guess you could say is the best way to put it. But I do think at the same time, Jackson Dart, Cam Scatabo, those type of guys, they showed they were a bit reckless last year, so they will have to tone that down a bit. But I do, to that point, Malik Neighbors, Abdul Carter, those guys prove they are like legit. We obviously knew what the talent levels they're working with. Yeah. You have Malik Neighbors returning from injury. I'll be honest with you, bro. I weirdly, I don't know what it is, and once again, we'll dive into these rosters as we get closer to the season. But something in my gut is just telling me Washington Commanders at the bottom. I don't know. I guess you know what it is, man. It was seeing Jaden Daniels struggle to stay healthy last year, and he is such a frail quarterback.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to insult him. He's very talented. No. Like, he just is a smaller frame of a quarterback in the NFL where motherfuckers get hit hard. And so that does worry me. Same thing with Jackson Dart. I mean, it worries me, the recklessness and the mobility. And right, like it is a worry with mobile quarterbacks all in general. But those guys seem to be a little bit more reckless than others. And so that's where I guess I get those feelings from. But
it'll be interesting to see how Harbaugh can kind of reel in Jackson Dart and find
that's a great
Jackson Dart's approach to the game between the white lines, because that's not a dude like Brian Daboll was fighting for his life at the end of his tenure in New York. Brian Daboll was peeking his head in the medical tent saying, I need him. Like, you can go dive head first. And like, I need you out there. Yeah. John Harbaugh's not a guy fighting for his life right now after signing that deal to become the next head coach. He's trying, like, they're trying to build their franchise cornerstone in Jackson Dart. How do you do that? You stop being fucking reckless with your body and your head. That's step one. So it'll be interesting. I can see Washington. It's funny, man. I think there's fun in this division when you have Dallas's offensive capabilities, when you have Jaden Daniels, when you talk about the Jackson Dart and Malik Neighbors kind of duo there and what they can do. There's just a lot of question marks when it comes to the rest of those teams for me. Like, that's where I'm at with the Eagles in this division, and why I'll continue to put them at the top of this division until proven otherwise. Is what is outside of Terry McLaurin, what is Washington's help? What is Washington's defense? What is Dallas's defense? What is everything in New York? So, like, there's just so many questions that have to be answered before you get into what level of, what tier competition they are. But
I wanted to ask you, something about the Eagles specifically. When you brought up the defense. What right now, and there's still a ton of time to go, right? We still have to let the A.J. Brown saga play out, whatever that may look like. Which unit do you have more confidence in right now? Just right now, given free agency draft, so on and so forth.
Well, listen,
because I'll throw it to you. I'm leaning defense right now. You got Vic Fangio that's been locked in. You brought in Tyreek Woolen. You lose Nakobe Dean, but that linebacking room has started to look better and better over the last couple of years. So I'm still comfortable there. You got your defensive line settled with Jonathan Grenard. Where's your confidence go?
I even forgot that we traded for Jonathan. Like, this offseason, like, I can't wait to prep and get in the real Eagles talk besides looking at the schedule, because I forget everything right now. But, let me be honest with you. It's 1,000% the defense. I think the offense has the potential to be captivating and extremely fun and new and fresh this year. But in terms of which coming in on May 20th right now, which side of the ball, it's been the defense for 7 months now. Like we went into last because it's like, oh, we got to wait to see what happens with AJ Brown. With AJ Brown, the offense struggled and the defense carried them. Yeah, the defense gave up a trick play touchdown to San Francisco. That hurts. The defense was phenomenal in the playoff game.
Yeah.
It wasn't their fault. They got bounced. It was the offense. The defense has all of my trust. Vic Fangio, Uncle Vic, has all of my trust and belief. The offense has the fun, hopeful spirit of me because you talk about Saquon going for 2K 2 years ago. You talk about a guy in Jalen who won Super Bowl MVP 2 years ago, and we plug all the new pieces at wide receiver around, and Goddard comes back, and if the line stays healthy, this offense should. I tweeted out, I pinned it 2 years ago when Kellen Moore was here. I tweeted out that Vic Fangio will have this offense at a top 10 level. Kellen Moore will have this offense at a top 5 level, and the Eagles will be hoisting the Lombardi in February. Now, let me just give myself one of those. However, let me flip it now. Vic Fangio will have this defense at a top 5 level, and Sean Mannion will have this offense as a top 7 or 8 offense in the National Football League, and they'll be right back in that conversation this year. There's no reason they shouldn't. A.J. Brown or not, Scotty, there's too many strengths on this offense.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. It's a conversation for another day. If the ball's being spread around, how does that look, man? Like, does that
not
look
just
like
spread
freedom?
around? No, of it being spread around.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll let you get your comment. I'll let you drop your comment, but we'll see how far the stupid rope gets allowed out today. How much wood? How much wood are you guys treading today?
Who the Eagles? They picked Tanner McKee to do the schedule release video.
Yeah.
No, they picked their franchise guy, Jalen Hurts, to do that. So, yeah, it's fun. Eagles season's back. We're hearing about Tanner McKee.
Didn't we also sign Andy Dalton?
Did we? Yeah, I think we did.
Tanner McKee's not going to be.
I think Tanner McKee's going to be traded. I think that's what's going to happen. At some point. He's going to be flipped for some type of draft compensation, and we'll roll with a veteran backup,
the Red Rocket.
I wanted to ask you one more thing, and we don't have to.
I got one more for you too. So fire away.
Oh, bet. I wanted to ask you what's your what matchup are you looking forward to the most?
Huh. It's the Rams early or the Seahawks late in terms of competition. Like, those two teams are the other two teams in the NFC that could be contending for a world title again.
Yeah.
Both at home, right? But there's a lot of fun shit on this one as well, man. You mentioned the London game. You got Dallas on Thanksgiving. You get Christmas Eve, Houston in Philly. Like, I get it. It's like people are like, oh, Christmas Eve. Brother, by the time 8:15 rolls around, family has left my house. I'm however many drinks deep, and we're watching the Eagles. Like, there's nothing disrupting my Christmas Eve by the Eagles playing. Yeah, I'm fantastic. So there's nothing that concerns me there. Seattle on a Saturday in December, if they are trying to contend again, if Sam Darnold can replicate last year and they can come back, then obviously, get my shot at the big dog on a Saturday night in Philly. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, the Seahawk matchup is where my eyes go as well. I don't love that it's in week 15. It's still within that range that it matters. It's not like that. It's not like a week 17, week 18 type of thing. But I just wish it was a little bit, not even in earlier part of the season, but just more in the middle, I guess, and maybe just more of a primetime spot than a Saturday at 5. But no, I think still, like you said, as long as these teams are who they're supposed to be coming out of last year, and more specifically the Seahawks, it should make for a big matchup. But yeah, I guess the Rams early on. That Bears game on Monday Night Football in Chicago, that will be a real big.
That's a good one.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's bigger for Chicago. I don't know. I guess it depends how you look at each of those teams. Chicago's a little bit more successful last year, or no? I don't know. Eagles, they just fell apart again. It's very similar to what 2 years or so prior to the Super Bowl win, but. No, there's a couple good matchups. I'm thinking about going to that opening day matchup. Not opening day, but our opening home matchup against the Commanders. Be nice warm weather. But we'll see. Yeah, I would lean Seahawks. That's my favorite matchup, and just because they are the defending Super Bowl champions. But yeah, the Rams at home, week 4. It is a prime spot. I don't know if we lost Dylan or what. Am I still live? I guess I would ask. It is Okay, Dylan. Okay, yeah, it is storming in the area. But nonetheless, I think that'll do it for today's show. We got thunderstorms coming, so I might lose my connection here soon. Pump, always appreciate you, man. I'm not gonna do the Tanner McKee shit this season, that's for sure. But I'll say this. Jalen Hurts, it's time. It's time to step up and show us what you got. Get back to that level that we have seen in the postseason and in the Super Bowl. But more importantly, what we saw in that, 22 season where he was in that MVP conversation, A.J. Brown or not. If A.J. Brown is gone, even more, Jalen Hurts has to step up and have not only a good season, but I think a great season. Just to somewhat bounce back from what that offense looked like last year. So we'll see, man. We'll talk about it throughout the season, Pump. Always appreciate you commenting nonetheless. I know you piss us off a lot, but it probably makes your day better when you do that anyway. So it works out in both ends. It makes for good entertainment as well. Guys, please enjoy the rest of your day. Go Phillies. Let's keep the hot baseball play going. Get us excited. We got a big stretch coming up here to close out the month of May, and we'll see where they go. We were going to talk about how fucking far the Sixers are from competing with the Spurs, the likes of the Spurs and the Thunder, and even the Knicks, man. I mean, what the Knicks look like at times right now, it's hard to imagine in this Sixers core getting to that level of play in the next few years during the rest of the Embiid era. So yeah, that's a conversation for another day. Appreciate you all that tuned in tonight. And we will see you on Friday. We'll be back. Peace, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.